you've incorporated your company and are probably already thinking of millions of products that you could sell. But before you start brainstorming products, it's a good idea to come up with some initial criteria you can use to determine whether your product idea is good or bad. This is where most people fail. The strategy that most people take when selling on Amazon is selling brands that they already love. If they love Sony, they sell Sony products. If they love Apple, they sell Apple products. If they love Cuisinart, they sell Cuisinart products. Unfortunately, this strategy does not work very well for several reasons. First, because anyone can sell the same product as you, there are frequent pricing wars. Let's say you decide to sell this Cuisinart pot for $300. So you put it up and you start making some sales, but unfortunately, soon someone else puts up the same exact product $5 cheaper. So what happens? Well, the product is exactly the same, and so all the customers buy the cheaper one. So then you'll decide to lower your item by $5 and you'll get 100% of the sales for a little bit, and then the other seller will lower his price to $285 and he'll get all the sales, and pretty soon nobody's making any money except Cuisinart. Amazon itself might end up selling and shipping the product, and because they operate with such razor-thin margins, they'll be able to price it lower than both of you and probably put you both out of business. When the brand and product is exactly the same, people will almost always choose the lowest priced one. And unfortunately, if you're selling items that are branded, you're competing against not just one seller, but potentially dozens and dozens of sellers selling the exact same product you are. Don't let this happen to you. So what can you do? Well, don't sell products that already have a brand. Instead, create your own brand. That's right, you, my friend, are soon going to have your own brand. Just like Steve Jobs created Apple, and Franz Popp created BMW, and Louis Vuitton created Louis Vuitton, you are going to create your own brand. Now, that doesn't mean you also have to create your own product. We're going to learn how to work with top overseas manufacturers that can create the product for you. It just means that when you have the product, it's going to be with your name and label on it that no one else can copy. You'll have the ability to take your own pictures, write your own product description, choose your own price, and no one will be competing with you. Now, you may think that creating your own brand is crazy, but let me tell you, this is how Amazon sellers are making their money. Let me show you some examples. There's someone that wanted to sell vitamin D pills on Amazon. Now, there are many well-known brands that do this already, such as Kirkland or Nature Made, and he could have gone out and resold any of these two products, but then he'd be competing with any other seller that's also interested in selling these two products. So what did he do instead? He created his own label where he's the only one selling this product. And now I'm sure he's raking in hundreds and hundreds of dollars a day on this product alone. My aunt wanted to sell yoga clothing on Amazon. Now, she could have gone out and resold Lululemon's clothes or Champion's clothes, but then she'd be competing with dozens of other sellers who are doing the same thing. So what did she do? She teamed up with a manufacturer in Colombia to create her own brand, Active Fit Sportswear. And because she's the only one who is selling this product, she's now raking in thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's not just savvy entrepreneurs that do this. Big companies do this too. When Apple sells their computer monitors, they don't actually create the monitors themselves. They hire a company in China to make them and then put the Apple label on them. When Sony makes their televisions, they partner with a company who makes many of the internal parts, and bam, they brand them Sony. And you can brand almost anything you want. Yoga mats, beauty equipment, cutting boards, spatulas, tents, bowls, almost anything you can think of, because you can find almost anything from manufacturers worldwide, and you can stick your label and packaging on them. So then the question is, what's a good product to brand and sell? Well, we can explore this topic by telling you two of the items I would least like to sell: organic baby food and televisions. Can you guess why I would not want to sell these? Think about it. To brand my own organic baby food, I'd have to make sure it got USDA approved. Then I'd have to worry about the expiration date for baby food and making sure that I wasn't selling expired inventory. Then I'd be at a risk of liability if a baby got sick when eating my food. And finally, I would need to sell a ton of these to make a significant amount of profit. And then televisions, in my opinion, also very difficult to sell. First of all, they're heavy, which means I'd have to spend a ton on shipping back and forth from China and then back and forth to the customer. If the customer returns the item because it's defective, then I'd have to pay for shipping again, and this could easily eat up into my profits. Second, it's very fragile. I'd have to ensure the packaging is perfect in order to ship, and even then I might end up with some broken TVs along the way. Third, because there are a lot of moving parts, I'd have to be really careful about testing the durability of the item. I wouldn't be able to simply get it from the manufacturer, make sure it's working in 10 minutes. I'd probably have to keep it for months to make sure it doesn't die out on me. Finally, it's a very expensive item. That means that if I overestimated the demand for the item and ordered too many televisions from the manufacturer, I might end up losing a lot of money. So if these are all the criteria of products we want to avoid, what are the criteria for products that we might want to sell? Well, ideally, the product should weigh less than 3 pounds, so you spend much less money on shipping. A price between $20 and $300 is a good sweet spot, particularly for those just starting out on Amazon. When you sell a product for $20, it probably costs you only about $2 to manufacture. So if you don't sell a lot of them, it's not a huge loss. We also want the product that's long-lasting and doesn't have any expiration dates. One that's small and easy to pack. One that has minimal liability, and one that's very durable. These are just some initial criteria to get you started. But you can feel free to add to this list or change it as you wish. The most important thing is that you have a clear criteria for evaluating the products that you may sell. You can use this spreadsheet to list the criteria. In the brainstorming section of the spreadsheet, you can put the criteria in which you'll judge your products. You can feel free to add more criteria as you develop a greater sense for the types of products you like to sell. Once you've outlined your criteria for a good product, you can start brainstorming some awesome product ideas.